Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, January 9th, I believe it is. And I am here at the church. Yes, I'm still alive, still trying. I fully meant to do a video before Christmas that to say Merry Christmas to everybody and hey, how you doing and everything, but circumstances kind of prevented it. I believe I was here on the 21st of December, and I figured I'll be back before Christmas, so I'll do a video then. But this is actually the first day that I've come back, and I've done this since December 21st. My intention, my plan was to do this right through the holidays, like maybe take Christmas Day and Christmas Eve day and a couple others maybe off and not do anything and just not worry about it for the holidays. But my plan was most days I would be coming here and taking care of it. Well, give you a breakdown of what happened over Christmas. On the 22nd, I had an appointment to donate blood. So I went to my appointment. I was feeling fine that day. I went to my appointment and everything was fine. They test your iron before you donate blood, and as long as your iron levels are good, then they let you donate. So I donated my unit of blood and left, and I was fine the rest of the day. Friday, I got up and we had a dinner. I helped my son with his flyers, and then we had a dinner with my wife's family, a Christmas dinner with my wife's family on the Friday that I went to. And while I was there, I started feeling a little bit sick, and I thought it was kind of more the flu kind of thing. While I was there, and for the first part of the evening, my stomach just felt upset, and I felt really tired, really weak. And then when I was trying to sleep Friday night, it changed to being my acid reflux was extremely bad. I was feeling it all the way up into my throat, and it wasn't just I could feel it, it was like it was burning. And usually when that happens, I expect to get up in the morning and when I spit out phlegm, I usually have some blood with it. But when I got up Saturday morning, didn't have any of that. I took a couple of my, middle of the night, I took a couple of my pills that help with my acid reflux, and Saturday I felt okay, not great, but okay. And we went out and did a bunch of shopping and stuff. I think I might have done some Pokemoning with my daughter. Saturday night I felt terrible again, but Saturday night it wasn't as much my stomach, it was more I was really weak and short of breath, and I got winded and tired really easily. So I knew I wasn't feeling great. Sunday morning I get up, I'm not feeling good. We went to church Sunday morning, and as I was trying to sing hymns, I couldn't even get through just one line of a hymn without having to stop and take some deep breaths and catch my breath before I started singing again. Which really kind of sucks because I love Christmas carols, Christmas hymns. So we went to church. That afternoon we had a dinner at my dad's house, which I wasn't sure if I was going to go to or not, but I did. The whole time there I was very weak and I was very tired And most of the time I spent in a separate room from everybody else, just kind of sitting in a lazy boy and almost sleeping. Somebody told me to take a couple aspirin just to see if that would help, and it seemed to Sunday night, and so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be all right. Monday morning when I woke up, I was worse than I was on Sunday, and I knew I had to go see a doctor. So my wife was going to take me to the hospital, but I'm like, oh, I'm not going to go to the hospital without showering. So we got in to have a shower. The whole time I was in the shower, I was kind of leaning up against the wall because I didn't have the strength to just stand there. Managed to get through the shower. Turned off the water. Opened up the curtain, grabbed my towel. As I was standing there before I even got out of the tub, out of the shower, I knew I was really, really weak, and I was trying to pound on the wall and get my wife's attention, but I couldn't do that very hard. And I tried to call my wife, but I could barely speak. And so to switch to my wife's point of view, she said she heard a crash, and she came into the bathroom, and she saw me laying down in the tub. Apparently my eyes were wide open, but no matter how many times she called my name, I wouldn't respond. And so she finally came up and put her hand on my arm, and I guess shook me a little bit. So I finally clued in. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm sleeping. Why are you waking me up? Leave me alone. And it took a little bit for her to help me realize where I was and what had happened. And so, I mean, I'm 6'5" and 320 pounds, and she's 5'5", and so it's not easy for her to do anything to help me. But I was able to get up and get dried off. She stayed near me just in case. But I was able to get up and get dried off and go get dressed. And she took me to the hospital, and I proceeded to spend the next the 4 days, including this was on the 26th. So I proceeded to spend the 4 days from the 26th to 29th in the hospital, getting blood transfusions and having an IV in my arm the whole time, and it's kind of scary for me, but my wife said a few things about kind of the experience and how scary it was for her. So anyway, long story short, there was evidence before I even went to the hospital that there was some internal bleeding. I won't get into what the evidence is, but the evidence more or less showed that there was old internal bleeding. So in other words, there had been internal bleeding, but it wasn't fresh blood. And the first day I went to the hospital, they did a scope on me, the big tube thingy with the camera that goes down your throat, and checked it out. And they found evidence of a few old ulcers, but no proof of any current active bleeding. So they believe that the old ulcers were bleeding before I got to the hospital, sometime before I got to the hospital, and that they stopped bleeding on their own. And because of all the blood that I lost, my hemoglobin was really, really low. Now, for those who have heard of it but don't really understand what hemoglobin is, and I'm still not fully aware, but anyway, hemoglobin is part of your red blood cells, and it's what carries your oxygen throughout your body to your muscles and your organs and everything. And then it also takes carbon dioxide back out from your muscles and your organs and everything to help you expel it. So normal, from my research, normal for an adult male is anywhere from, say, 130, normal count anyway, when they do blood tests, between 130 and about 150. And mine was down to 85 when they first did my blood test. So they say that the most likely that first blood test, my reading was higher than it should have been. To say that sometimes when you take the blood tests, your red blood cells and your hemoglobin and stuff kind of congregate, or they could kind of like group up somehow, and so your reading might be higher than it should be. So they're thinking that it probably was down under 80 when I first went into the hospital. So they had to give me a couple of blood transfusions, and I was on IV for 3.5, almost 4 days. And also got a medication called Pantaloc, which helps with your acid production. And I had that through an IV as well, directly into my bloodstream. And so yeah, that was my Christmas. So anytime somebody asks me if I had a good Christmas, I just kind of have to be like, no. I haven't really gotten into it too much. People at work know that I was away and I was in the hospital, and some people at church know that. I don't know, I even hesitated doing the video because for some reason I just don't feel the need to kind of broadcast my health issues. But anyway, the doctor said, I asked him specifically about exercise, and he said that walking is good exercise. Do as much as I can, but don't push it, and don't and definitely don't do more than walking. Don't go running. Don't do anything more high intense for 3 or 4 weeks, because that's how long it'll take for my body to replace the hemoglobin that was lost. And so anyway, I took last week off. I started back at work last week. Kind of busy time for me at work, so I went back to work last week, and that went okay. And so I decided that this morning I better get back here, because when I'm not doing anything, when I'm not exercising in the mornings, if I'm going to lose weight, the only way I can do it is by having really good diet. And seeing how I don't diet, I eat normal foods, but I just choose to eat less of things. I'm not necessarily reliant on exercise, but it sure makes things a whole lot easier. So anyway, that's me. And then I got up this morning to come, and it had snowed quite a bit last night, and it was -20 with the wind chill -30. And so I thought about just going back to bed, but I knew I had to get here and do stuff. So anyway, I hope all you guys are healthy and happy and doing good, and that you all had a good Christmas, and we'll have a great New Year. But take care. Talk to you later. Bye.